In this video, we will learn about Machiavelli. So basically, before getting into the discussion of political theory of Machiavelli, we need to understand what was his main purpose. So basically, at that time period to which Machiavelli belongs, that means the ending of medieval period and the modern period was about to start. That means it was a time period of Renaissance. So at that time period, Italy was a very fragmented society. That means it was divided into multiple city states. Now we will look into the difference between city state and nation state later on. But first, let's discuss about the main purpose. So basically, when Italy was a fragmented society, it was attacked by multiple foreign forces. So it was a very miserable condition at that time period. So Machiavelli just want a unification of Italy into a single nation state. Now here comes the term nation state and city state. So we will look what is the major difference between city state and nation state. Now city state is a smaller entity with certain set of people, certain set of subject, and it was ruled by a particular person or particular government with a territory. That means it's a shorter form of government or shorter form of government institution. Whereas nation state is a kind of institution where small ethnic groups, that means let us suppose there is three or four kind of tribes, name whatever you want to name them, A, B, C. They are small ethnic groups with different set of language, with different set of culture, their education, their religious practices. So they come together, all the ethnic groups, all the nations, that means all the ethnic groups come together, and for the fulfillment of their common need, they create a state with a specific territory, and they elect a government who has the full sovereignty to rule over them, full power, full authority to rule over them. So that is nation state. So we saw here what is the difference between city state and nation state. So nation state is a larger entity in comparison to city state with a specific boundary and full sovereignty to rule inside that boundary and to protect that boundary and to rule over their subjects, or you can say over their citizen. So this is the concept of city state and nation state. So basically at that time period, Italy was divided into five city states, and in those city states, Florence was the one of them, and Machiavelli was born in Florence. So basically Machiavelli wants the unification of Italy into a single nation state. Now here comes who will do that thing. That means how it can be unified. How Italy can be unified? This was the major question. So for that, Machiavelli wrote a book, The Prince. So that was a very important book, The Prince, in which he talked about a political entrepreneur. Political entrepreneur. Now what is the meaning of entrepreneur? So basically you heard this term, you hear this term in economy, like there is an entrepreneur with certain set of a skill, and he create a startup, or he establish a company to do some production or do some services, like let us suppose someone is establishing or developing a startup related to story writing for movies, script writing for movies, or there are multiple startups out there. If you get to the Bangalore, you will see about it. So you will learn about it. So basically he talked about a political entrepreneur. That means a person with certain set of political skill and a political vision, who can forcefully unify all the city states into a single nation state. That means a monarch or a prince. And in this book, The Prince, he talked about the qualities, a set of qualities and set of rules and regulation for that prince to adhere with, so that he can rule and he can unify Italy into a single nation state. So this was the whole introduction, and this was the whole purpose of Machiavelli. Now we will see a few more points so that you could write it into the examination, because if you need to write the introduction about Machiavelli, you have to you have to understand and you have to write few points about it. So we will see here. That means Machiavelli belongs to the period of Renaissance. This is the term. Now, what is the meaning of Renaissance and when this period came? So we will talk about it. So basically, Renaissance was the period between medieval and modern period. That means at the time, this was the time period when medieval period was about to end and modern period was about to start. So what was the socio-political and cultural society, socio-political and cultural situation of that particular medieval period, and what was the difference between modern period and medieval period? We will talk about it. So medieval period was basically a feudal society. Feudal society means what? So feudalism is a kind of ideology in which there is a few people who hold the land, and they force poor people to work on that land, and in thereby they rule over them, and they put their authority over those people who are working on their land, and they used to call on feudal lords, and out of which it comes feudalism. Now, at that time period there were two authorities, and there were conflict between two authorities, that means church and feudal lords, because church at that time period, when Christianity came, it become more and more prominent, and when people started believing in Christianity, when people started admiring it, then the church started to enjoy or started to practice the authority over them, and then comes the conflict between noble lord, or you can say the feudal lord, and the church over the authority, that means over the authority over the rule and regulation, over the power over the rulership of those people. So there was conflict between church and the feudal lords, and also between feudal lords, because there were no specific territory for each and every feudal lord. That means people were divided here and there. Few feudal lord claim over some group of people, other feudal lord also claim over those people. So there was conflict between the feudal lords and also between the church. So as you know, when there is a talk about, when there is a conflict between man and God, then obviously God is going to prevail. So exactly that happened at that time period. That means church emerged as the prime authority, and it become corrupt. Like it started entering into the life of people, and it started to misusing their power. So basically, the main purpose of Machiavelli is to remove the religion, the church from the rulership, from the statesmanship. So that was the main purpose of Machiavelli, and Machiavelli considered this was the reason behind the decline of the whole European society, or you can say the Italy of that time period. So this was the period of medieval society, medieval history. Now, what was Renaissance period and how society changed into modern period? So basically, Renaissance brings the new spirit, the new human spirit. That means where people started thinking reasonably. That means people started thinking that, yeah, religion is nothing for us. What is more important is our rights and our self-interest. That means individualism started to come inside the mind of people, and when individualism come, usually when individualism comes into the mind, then people start thinking about their self-interest or their self-benefit, and it brings the ideology of economic ideology of capitalism. So Renaissance period brings the reasoning into the mind of people, and when you have reasoning, when you start thinking logically, then obviously science is going to flourish more. So reasoning brings the scientific revolution, you can see over here. So Renaissance brings the growth of reason, and reason brings the scientific revolution. Now, so due to scientific revolution, if you started inventing new things like James Watt invented steam engine. So on the basis of that, industries started to establish. Industries started to establishing, or the flourishment of industries started. So due to flourishment of industries, capitalism started, because people started to accumulate or consolidate wealth more and more out of the industries, out of the profit of that industries, out of the production of that industries. So rise of capitalism happened, and because of rise of capitalism, the concepts like nationalism, materialism, individualism, utilitarianism come into the mind. Because if there is a talk about profit, if people start thinking about their self interest, their own interest, then they always want to maximize their profit, and they never want to encroach. That means they never want any outside interference inside their society, inside their country. And that is why nationalism becomes so prominent in the capitalist societies at that time period. So this was the concept about nationalism, materialism, individualism, and utilitarianism. We'll talk about these concepts in upcoming videos when we'll discuss about Jeremy Bentham and Thomas Hobbes, John Locke. They are the founders of liberal economy, liberalism, and capitalist economy. So we'll discuss it later. So this was the society of this was the difference between medieval period and modern period. So I hope you have understood about it. That means a medieval period was a static society where there is a conflict between church and the feudal lords. Feudal lord, that position become hereditary. That means a son of a feudal lord always become the next lord. So there was conflict between man and God. That means church and human being. So due to this particular conflict, um, because of this conflict, a new intellectual class emerged at that time period, and that class were known as humanists. Now, Machiavelli also belonged to this intellectual class, to humanists, who want to bring the values of pre-Christian time period. That means period before medieval period. That means values of ancient period, where there was no God. Basically, there were God, but God was not that prominent at that time period. So basically, they want to bring the values of ancient time period. That means giving more focus to human beings, human rights, about their interest, about their betterment. So basically humanists were those people. So humanist class were the people who talked about giving more focus to the human rights rather than giving more focus to the god. So Machiavelli also belonged to that humanist class. So this was the whole introduction of and whole purpose of Machiavelli for giving his political theory. So if there is a question regarding the Machiavelli's introduction, Machiavelli, then what you will write into the introduction? I'll give you the 4 or 5 points. So first you'll talk about he born in Florence, a city, a state of Italy, and he was a transitional figure standing midway. This is a legal language. This is a bookish language which you need to write in the examination for getting extra marks. Sorry. So he was standing between the medieval and modern eras. So according to Machiavelli, the appropriate way to understand politics is to leave ideals and to look directly at the empirical reality of human behavior. So basically the meaning of this particular line is that according to Machiavelli, power is the very common and very important thing to rule over some people. That means people are by nature, because in the prince we will discuss, when we will discuss about the prince, we will discuss about human nature. He talked about human nature. That means human is a very deceitful, a coward people, coward, those who cannot be trusted. So he gave suggestion to the prince that if you want to rule over the society, you need to leave all the ethics and morality, and you have to understand the empirical, that means practical reality of that particular society. So if we want to write about the introduction, we need to mention this. That means Machiavelli said that appropriate way to understand politics is to leave ideals and to look directly at the empirical reality of human behavior. That means human or people are self-interested people. They are coward, they are deceitful. We will discuss about these kind of qualities which was mentioned in the book Prince. Now, now, Machiavelli is considered one of the great theorists of real politics because he talked about empirical reality, the power politics of that particular time period, which is necessary for the unification. And because of the power definition, because he gave the definition of power and he gave more emphasis on power, he has been considered as the father of modern realism also. That means he talked about reality. he considered politics in its real sense. That means politics is nothing but power. And now he talked about the separation of church and the people, church and the state, church and the government, church and the administration process. And that is why he also considered as the father of European secularism, because he talked about separation of religion from the social and administrative processes, the government, about the government institution. That means there should not be any interference by the church or any interference by the religion inside the uh, states governmentship or statesmanship. So basically here comes the difference between Gandhiji and Machiavelli, because we need to compare them. And if you are writing an answer inside the in your mains examination, you need to mention the comparison also, because Gandhiji was the person who talked about there should be ethics in the politics. That means he always talked about ethicality. That means uh, political ethics, or you can say the ethical politics he talked about. Sorry, I mentioned that word political ethics. It's ethical politics. So Gandhiji talked about ethics and politics are both should be practiced together. But Machiavelli was against it. He recommended to the prince, that means if you want to rule on the society, you need to leave all the ethicality and all the morality of the society, and you have to think empirically, and you have to practice the power. So this is the whole introduction of Machiavelli. Now what we are going to do is to learn about the now we will discuss about the book The Prince in very detail. So in the book, as you know, he discussed about a political entrepreneur, that means a monarch who can unify the Italy. So basically in this book, he mentioned he proposed some characteristics, some rules and regulation for the king, for the monarch to pursue, and if he'll be able to adopt those characteristics, then he'll be able to rule on the society, and then he'll be able to unify that fragmented society of Italy. So basically in this book The Prince, he talked about the characteristics of a prince and the human nature. And apart from these things, he also talked about power, and he mentioned that power is going to be a prime constituent if a king or if a monarch want the unification of Italy. That means power will be very useful. Power will be the major constituent by using which a monarch can easily unify Italy. So we will discuss about the power, what is power, and what type of power. So these are things are very necessary to understand the whole picture. So please be with me very carefully. But before that, we will discuss about human nature, what Machiavelli talked about human nature in his book. So you can see over here that he talked about man is selfish, ungrateful, deceitful, coward, fearful, avaricious. That means these are the characteristic of man. So you can see that this is very realistic. That means all people are not bad, but there are number of people who are selfish, ungrateful, deceitful. And basically the time which Machiavelli belongs, like Sabine, Sabine, a philosopher, criticized Machiavelli as it's narrowly dated, narrowly located. It means that the time period which Machiavelli belongs was a very violent period, where Italy was encroached. Italy was attacked by multiple foreign states. There were total chaos. There were fear. There were violences happening. So because of that, Machiavelli adhere these kind of thinking, these kind of mentality towards a human nature. That means human is selfish person, human is ungrateful, and human is deceitful. That means human a person is always a person will always talk about always think about their self-interest. In the time they can give someone deceitful, they can prove deceitful for someone. So these kind of characteristics, these kind of human nature, which Machiavelli defined in his book The Prince. Now if you can understand these characteristic, so you will easily understand that if a person having these kind of characteristics, then power will be very useful here, because they will not do things on their own. If a prince want a man to follow the prince regulation, the prince order, the monarch's order, he will not do by himself. He needs some external force, whether it's a a violent form of force, violent form of power, or whether it's a carrot, there's a phrase, carrot and stick. So whether a monarch, whether a prince providing a stick or a carrot. That means providing someone favor and force him or make him towards your side, towards prince side. So this is the concept, like providing carrot or stick. So basically, this is the form of power. That means Machiavelli suggests that a prince should have both kind of strategies. That means providing someone favor to make them towards your side, or if they are not accepting that favor, then use violence, use force, use power. And if you are using power, first of all, you don't need to use power. You first give them carrot, give them some favors, give them some gifts, so that they can accept your offerings, they can follow your order, they can pursue your order. But if they are not accepting it, because man is a selfish person, until and unless they will not find any usefulness in that particular gift, in that particular favor for themselves, they will not pursue, they will not follow you, they will not adhere your order, they will not accept your order. So if that person is not accepting your order, not following your order, then then you have to use the violence. And if you are using the violence, then use it fully, use it completely. That means destroy your enemy. This was the suggestion by Machiavelli to the prince. And this is the point, because of that he was criticized most. Everyone criticized him because he talked about raw use of power, a violent use of power. But it was a kind of necessary for that particular society, and also a good explanation. Because suppose if a person is selfish, suppose if a person is selfish, and if you are destroying him, if you are using violence against him, and if you are not destroying him completely, or you are not killing him, if you left him for showing some mercy or kind of thing, so after some period of time he will try to take a vengeance towards you. Like he will try to take वो बदला लेना चाहेगा आपसे basically. So और वो जो resistance की, that the feeling of resistance, the feeling of vengeance is very very dangerous feeling. And for that a person can do anything for the vengeance. Even he can sold his own property for taking vengeance. So that's why Machiavelli suggests a prince to use violence if you are using fully. So this was the type of, and this was the basic form of form of power. Whether provide him a stick, whether provide him carrot, give him favors, give him some gifts, so that he can become dependent on you, he will follow your orders. But if a person is not following your order, give him a stick. That means destroy him completely by using violence. That you can see over here, by how to keep all powers in his own hand. So by becoming either a careless or annihilate man. That means careless means meaning giving his favors and making them dependent, or annihilate man means using violence in the extreme, not sort of less killing. So we discussed about it. Now, why Machiavelli gave so much emphasis on power? So Machiavelli emphasis on power gives human nature, as we discussed, like human are self-interested and self-regarding people. So if human nature is based on self, then power, if employed wisely, will work. So we discussed about it also. Now, according to Machiavelli, human acting in self-interest doesn't make it simple. They are just doing according to their nature as earth revolving around sun. That means, according to Machiavelli, thinking about your self-interest is not bad. It's a natural process. It's a natural thinking. As sun is revolving around, so as earth revolving around sun. Similarly, a person is thinking about his self-interest is a natural thing. Now, Machiavelli advocates many rules for power politics. So we will discuss about some of them we discussed earlier, but we will discuss about it again. So prince should abandon all ethical ideals and become strictly empirical in political analysis and cold-blooded logical in conclusion drawn from analysis. So basically Machiavelli suggested to the prince that leave all ideals, leave all ethical and moral value, and become strictly empirical. Please remember these two words, and you can directly write it in the mains examination. Strictly empirical. Let me change the pen. Which one? So strictly empirical and cold-blooded logical in conclusion. So A prince should be strictly empirical in political analysis and cold-blooded logical in conclusion drawn from analysis. So based on analysis and conclusion, prince should act logically even if it leads to moral violation. That means you don't need to adhere to the morality. If you want the betterment of the whole society, betterment of the Italy, so you don't need to adhere to the ethical and moral values, ethical and moral path, ethical and moral pursuings. So you have to think about the whole community, whole society. So that's why he gives some quotes like, how we live is far removed from how we ought to live. Please remember these quotes because these are very important. He who abandoned what is done for what ought to be done will bring about his own ruins. That means a person, मुझे इसे let me explain in Hindi because it will be very easy for that. So एक आदमी, कोई एक पर्सन जो उसके पास है, अगर उसको छोड़ के जो होना चाहिए उसकी तरफ देखता है, like suppose let me give you an example. You got a candy, you got a sweet, and you think and you leave that, you throw out that sweet in thinking that you will get that one, you will get some better one after a few days or after a few period of time. But what happens, you abandon that what you have for what ought to, और उससे क्या होगा कि you will be and you will bring about his own ruins. That means it may be possible that after a few days or after few time period you will not get that sweet. So what happened that you lost both one, the sweet which you are having and the sweet which you wanted to you wanted. So this was the main purpose. Like, it's not confined to this particular example, it's a very holistic one. So he who abandons what is done for what ought to be done will bring about his own ruins. Now यहाँ पे आप you can remember Plato as well. He talked about like philosophical life, Socrates and Plato. That means a person should always try to gain an ideal state. A person should not live a state which is less than ideal. That means leave what you have for an ideal state, and that ideal state is never going to happen, never going to come. So you are ruining yourself. So this was the whole meaning of this particular quote. Now the vice prince must keep all powers in his own hand because other institutions like police minister are potential threat to the prince as they are source of it. Now if a person is ruling, if a monarch, a prince is ruling to the society, he needs some members, he needs some karmcharis for that particular thing, for the rule and regulation of the society, for the administration, for the management of the society. But what happens that those people who are holding the power can misuse that power against the prince. So basically Machiavelli trying to suggest that a prince should always try to hold power in his own hand by becoming a careless or annihilate man. So this was the whole concept why Machiavelli gave so much emphasis on power. Now we discussed here how to employ violence for maximum effectiveness. So it is based on human nature. People have self-interested nature. Any violence sort of killing will engender hatred. They start working away from human nature. Hatred is a passion which led to men seeking vengeance. So I discussed about it. So violence must not be employed unless it's absolutely necessary, because it will engender resistance and threat to prince. But if violence is necessary, then its employment must be quick and merciless. Non-violent form of power, on the other hand, such as giving gifts or granting favors, should be applied over a longer period of time so as to maintain dependency upon the prince. So I discussed about this whole thing, that if you are using power, first of all don't use power, and if you are using it, don't use directly. That means don't go, a prince should not go to someone's place and kill him. Use it through your proxies, because if a proxy is doing this and that person, if a proxy is executing violence to someone, and if that person like suppose कि वो मरा नहीं, वो जिंदा बच गया, then what happens that he will try to take vengeance. So if prince is directly killing that person or directly giving him harm, so that person will try to take vengeance from the prince. But if prince appointing a proxy, whether it's सेनापति or कोई और हो सकता है, and if he is executing violence on any particular person, then that person will take vengeance from that particular person, not king. So this was the whole concept. So basically, it is better to be feared than loved. A wise prince must rely on what is in his power, not on what is in the power of others. So basically, this is the very famous quote: "A prince must be clear like fox and brave like lion." So this was the statement. The meaning of this is like, when we read about the philosopher king in Plato's political theory, Plato talked about a philosopher king who has the characteristic, or who has the virtue of courage and reason. Courage means lion, like lion, and reason means like fox. So this was the same concept. A prince must be clever like fox and brave like lion, so that he can understand the cunningness of a person, cunningness of a man, because a man is deceitful person, a man is selfish person, he'll betray a prince at any point of time. So basically, he has to be clever like fox, and if he is executing violence on someone, then be brave like lion and kill that person mercilessly. So this is the whole concept. Now, now we'll discuss about. Now we have two major figures. One is Machiavelli, and second one is Gandhiji. Both have contrasting views regarding end and means. So basically, according to Machiavelli, end justify the means, but according to Gandhiji, means justify the end. Now, what is the meaning of these two phrases? So basically, let us suppose if you want to become an IS officer. So according to Machiavelli, the ultimate goal of person is IS, is being a IS officer, being an IS officer. So it doesn't matter whatever he path adopting, whatever the path he is adopting, whether he is doing cheating or whatever. If ultimately he'll getting that position, if he is getting that position, then that means will be justified. But Gandhiji has totally contrasting view. According to him, if a person want to become an IS officer, he need to be punctual. He need to adopt a right path. That means do hard work, don't do cheating. And if you are adopting that right path, ultimately you are getting that, you are going to get that position. So this was the concept. This was the meaning of end justify the means and means justify the end. Now, what is the views of Machiavelli about the ethics in politics? So basically, as we discussed, like leave ideals and look directly into the empirical reality. Now, the if Prince want the betterment of the whole country, betterment of the Italy, so whatever the path he is going to adhere, that doesn't matter. If the ultimate goal is serving, that means if the betterment of Italy is happening, then even a killing of someone will be justified. So this was the whole concept of Machiavelli. Now, conclusion of this analysis, this thesis and antithesis will be like Gandhiji was idealist person and Machiavelli was realist person. So Gandhiji's views will be justified in domestic era, like domestic politics. In domestic politics, Gandhiji's views can be justified, but in international politics, Machiavelli cannot be ignored because international politics is all about power politics. You have to think about your self-interest. So this was the whole concept of role of ethics in politics. Now, now we'll see the critical evaluation of Machiavelli. So basically, as we discussed, like Machiavelli talked about the separation of state and church, or state and religion, and he denied the authority of church. So that's why he was mostly criticized by the church, and he was one of the most criticized figure in whole Western political philosophy. Now, according to Sabine, Machiavelli narrowly dated, narrowly located. That means the time period which Machiavelli belonged was a very chaotic time period. It was a time period of revolutions are happening, civil wars were happening. Italy were attacked by multiple foreign forces. So killing of people were happening. People were started thinking about themselves. That was the time period of Renaissance when people started thinking about their self-interest. So basically, this was the reason why Machiavelli adopted a pessimistic view of human nature, church, and politics. Because of circumstances prevailing in the Italy, it would have different if he belonged to different time space. Now, Dunning, a philosopher, he supported Machiavelli, or you can say he accepted Machiavelli as a neutral personality, and he suggests that it is irony that everyone is Machiavellian in politics, but no one accepts himself as Machiavellian. That means if you see in politics, everyone always trying to adopt, adhere power. They always try to get into the power and utilize power, use power for their for themselves. So basically, everyone talk about power. That means, in a way, everyone talking about Machiavelli, adopting the preachings, the values of Machiavelli, but no one accepting themselves as a Machiavelli. So conclusion should be like, it is true that Machiavelli was child of his time, but it does not mean his thought are lacking any universal and transcendental value. Because if you see the values, the preachings, whatever he suggested to the prince was universally correct. Because if you see in the international relation, international politics, because Machiavelli later on become a reputed school in realist arena, or you can say realist school of international politics. So in international politics, you can say you can see that power is very prime constituent, because everyone talked about their self-interest. As you can see, Westphalian world order, we discussed about it earlier. Sorry, we will discuss about it later on when we'll discuss about Hobbes Westphalian world order, where nation state, different nation state created in the Europe, established in the Europe. So this is another concept, we will discuss about it later on. So basically, we'll draw a conclusion about Machiavelli. That means, even when Machiavelli's views are one-sided, that means he talked about negative side of human nature. It's important to understand the dark nature of human and politics also, because until and unless you are not getting both side pictures, you cannot draw justified conclusion on that particular thing. That was the meaning of Machiavelli. So due to his practical and empirical analysis, he laid the foundation of political realism. Because he has been considered as the father of modern political realism and behavioral methods of analysis in political science, because he talked about power, the reality in the politics. He has great influence on philosophers like Thomas Hobbes. So our next thinker will be Thomas Hobbes, about which we will discuss later on. And so he is the intellectual precursor of realist school of international politics. So we will discuss about realist school of international politics when we'll discuss the second paper of this political science and international relations optional. So this was the whole concept of Machiavelli. I hope you understood it very well. Thank you so much.